Kwadash. All praises and glory go to you, Lord. Double honors and respect go to our apostles and our elders and our teachers, the men of great millstone. To you I say shalom. It's your brother Amariah. And let's get into today's message. I was pondering today on free will and how it really doesn't exist. And there are several scriptures that back that up plainly, right? But the reason why I was pondering on this is because certain circumstances have come across my attention lately. Certain people have come across my attention lately. And I got to thinking about how my path and their paths have collided in this reality we live in. And this is all the will of Yahawah by sham YAHAWASHI. Truly there is no free will. And what I wanted to convey, the message I wanted to convey is pray that the Lord gives you a part in his movie that leads you to eternal life, salvation, redemption, and ultimately the blessings that are to come to the children of Israel if they should believe and repent in the name of Yahawah by sham YAHAWASHI, okay? This is Proverbs chapter 20, verse 24. It says, man's goings are of Yahawah. How can a man then understand his own way? Right, because this part you have been given in this movie, because we truly are all actors in the Lord's script. This part you have been given, you have no real understanding of where does it lead, how the next day is going to go, and the following and the following. You're pretty much at the whim of Yahawah by sham YAHAWASHI. And you must pray, right? If it be his will, right? Not our will. If it be his will be done. And sometimes his will, just being blunt, honest, may mean that your part in the movie ends with your destruction, your demise, your judgment. It may end with his forgiveness and salvation being bestowed upon you. But your goings truly are of Yahawah. Verse 24 again, man's goings are of Yahawah, meaning he decides what part you play in this movie. How can a man then understand his own way? Right. For this example, this is Matthew chapter 26. And this is about the Last Supper as you know it, right? But something that stood out to me, I'm going to bring to your attention right now. So I'll begin at verse 31. This is Matthew chapter 26 and verse 31. It says, then saith YAHAWASHI, whom you ignorantly recognize as Jesus, right? I'm just reading his true biblical name in the Hebrew, okay? Verse 31 again. Then saith YAHAWASHI unto them, all ye shall be offended because of me this night, for it is written, I will smite the shepherd, and the sheep of the flock shall be scattered abroad, right? And this speaks to more than just the diaspora, the scattered of the nation of Israel, you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and North American Indians. But what this speaks to is YAHAWASHI's understanding of the script. As he said, Yahawah have showed him his will, what he intends to do. So the one other than Yahawah that understands Yahawah's script is YAHAWASHI, his son, whom you recognize as Jesus, right? But this is going to show you how free will, it doesn't exist. You already have your part in this script. It's written out, and you're going to play it down to a T because, again, man's goings are of the Lord. He decides what you are going to do. Verse 32, but after I am risen again, I will go before you into Galilee. Here is where Peter is about to find out what just a portion of his story that was already foretold, that was already written, was going to be. Verse 33, Peter answered and said unto him, YAHAWASHI, though all men shall be offended because of thee, yet I will never be offended, right? Which is a very human thing to say, okay? At this point, he's not acknowledging that this is a script Yahweh has written and that he is only an actor in the script. So he is about to find out very well what I mean when I say this. Verse 34, YAHAWASHI said unto him, verily I say unto thee, that this night before the cock crow, thou shalt deny me thrice. Verse 35, Peter said unto him, though I should die with thee, yet will I not deny thee. Likewise also said all the disciples, right? So they're like, no, Lord, man, we going down with the ship, man. Wherever you go, we going, man. We gonna ride together. We gonna die together. You know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, that's not what the Lord had in his script. The end of verse 34, it says, verily I say unto thee, that this night before the cock crow, thou shalt deny me thrice, meaning 3 times. Now, I'm going to skip down so that you understand that the Lord was basically telling him a portion of his script that was written for Peter, okay? And there's no shame in this, okay? At the end of the day, we all have a part to play. I just pray for a majority of my brethren in this truth, that you are of the house of David, that you are one of the elect, that the election shall stand in your life pure and true, and that you shall receive salvation, and not the other way around, because again, only the Lord and his son know the script, okay? For now, you can understand that Peter had a role in this script. The script was already written, how it was going to play out. We're going to skip down to verse 65 so you can understand that this was already foretold, that Peter's goings were already of Yahweh. He already knew what was going to happen. And the only one that would know the story or how this story is going to play out, this script is going to play out, is Yahweh and his son YAHAWASHI, okay? Now, he has shown his truth onto his men, and they were able to show this truth onto other men, and we indeed did learn this truth. But we understand that there's no such thing as free will, and that you pretty much are an actor in the Lord Yahweh by Hashem YAHAWASHI's script, okay? Matthew 26 and 65. Then the high priest rent his clothes, saying, he have spoken blasphemy. Matter of fact, let's skip up one verse so you understand. So they all came to arrest YAHAWASHI. And this is before he was to be crucified, to give you some backstory, okay? Because I skipped over quite a bit. As they came to arrest him, this is what YAHAWASHI said unto him. Verse 64. YAHAWASHI said unto him, thou hast said, nevertheless, I say unto you, hereafter shall ye see the Son of Man sitting on the right hand of power and coming in the clouds of heaven, right? So, you know, blasphemy back in the day was considered when you considered yourself God or on the level with God, and they considered YAHAWASHI blasphemous. So for this reason, they intended to put him to death. As they came to seize him, to put him in the Roman captivity, jail, however you view it, this is what he said unto them, and this was the response. Verse 65. Then the high priest rent his clothes, saying, he hath spoken blasphemy. What further need have we of witness? Behold, now ye have heard his blasphemy. What think ye? Then answered, and they answered and said, he is guilty of death. Verse 67. Then did they spit in his face and buffeted him, and others smote him with the palms of their hands. So they roughed him up, they beat him up a little bit, okay? All right, verse 68, saying, prophesy unto us, thou Christ, thou Hamashiach, right? Verse 68, saying, prophesy unto us, thou Hamashiach, who is he that smote thee, right? Tell us who hit you, because obviously they bounded him, they placed him in restraints, and maybe even covered his face at this point. So they're like cowards hitting him and saying, hey, tell us who hit you if you're the son of God, right? But again, I'm sticking to the point that there's no such thing as free will. Let's continue on. All right. Verse 69. Now Peter sat without in the palace, and a damsel came unto him, saying, thou also wast with Yahawashi of Galilee, right? So they're accusing Peter like, hey, yo, ain't you the one that was with that guy preaching he was the son of Yahweh? All right, verse 70. But he denied before them all, saying, I know not what thou sayest. Man, I don't know what the hell you talking about. This is what he's saying. Verse 71. And when he was gone out into the porch, another maid saw him and said unto them that were there, this fellow was also with Yahawashi of Nazareth. And again, he denied it with an oath. I do not know the man. I swear I don't know this man. He's telling them straight, I don't know this dude. Forgetting what the Lord Yahawashi HaMashiach told him previously. And we're going to go back to that. Verse 73. And after a while came unto him they that stood by and said to Peter, surely thou also art one of them, for thy speech bewrayeth thee. Then began he to curse and to swear, and saying, I know not the man. And immediately the cock crew. And Peter remembered the word of Yahawashi, which said unto him before the cock croweth, thou shalt deny me thrice. And he went out and wept bitterly. Right. Because there's no such thing as free will. We all have a part to play in this movie. And Yahawashi knew his part in the script. He knew that Peter would be accused of being in cohorts or collusion with Yahawashi, that he would deny Yahawashi 3 times before the cock crowed, okay? And the cock is a rooster or chicken-like bird, okay? But at the end of the day, Yahawashi knew his part in the script. There's no such thing as free will, okay? And again, we go back up in the words in red when Yahawashi told him, straight up told him, verse 34, Yahawashi said unto Peter, unto Peter, verily I say unto you, unto thee, that this night before the cock croweth, thou shalt deny me 3 times, right? See, we all have a part to play, right? Don't get delusional thinking that you have some type of free will. Matter of fact, I'm going to get this too. This is Job 33 and verse 15. In a dream and a vision of the night, when deep sleep falleth upon men, and the slumberings upon the bed, then he openeth the ears of men and sealeth their instructions. Right. He knows what you're going to do because he is the one that put those instructions inside of you. In the deep of the night, in deep sleep of the night, your instructions were sealed. There's no such thing as free will, which those of you in the truth already know, okay? So at this point, we're just going to play our roles in this movie, and I, for one, hope I am one of those that receive salvation and a good attaboy from the Lord in these last days, okay? So pray that you fall into the right side of the Lord's script, not the left side, because all of you 2/3 out here that are basically doing the will of Yahawah by Hashem Yahawashi on the left-hand side, reject it. You're going to do the part that you were assigned, and others are going to do the part on the right that they were assigned to be righteous, okay? And you yourself don't get to pick where you fall. I don't care how long you've been in the truth, okay? At any given point in time, the Lord knows your role in the script, and it could change in a moment's notice because he is the one, the author, the progenitor of your story, okay? Hopefully this has been edifying. I want to say, call halal la Yahawah by Hashem Yahawashi for this message. Until the next time, Israel, shalom.